Meghan Markle didn't just get snubbed, Meghan Markle got shut out, redirected, escorted, denied, and quietly erased over and over again, and the real question isn't why it happened once, it's why it keeps happening. In rooms filled with cameras, power, and people who don't forget anything. It starts like a pattern no one wants to admit is a pattern. A red carpet in Morocco, rolled out with precision, not glamour but protocol, a line drawn in fabric. Prince Harry steps forward exactly where he's meant to be, every inch choreographed. And then Meghan Markle moves too, not beside the moment but into it. A step too close, a step too far. And suddenly, a staff member appears, almost out of nowhere, like someone correcting a script that's gone off track. A quiet redirect, firm, final. Meghan Markle is moved aside, not publicly humiliated, not loudly corrected, just repositioned. And that silence, that's where it gets loud. Because why did it happen at all? Then Los Angeles. Bright lights, a charity gala, the kind of room where every name is checked twice before the door even opens. Meghan Markle arrives glowing, confident, ready to be seen. But something is off, something no one says out loud. Because according to reports, Meghan Markle wasn't invited, not overlooked, not forgotten, not delayed, not invited. And yet there she is, moving through the room, smiling, blending, trying to belong in a space that may have already decided she didn't. Staff notice. Staff always notice. And then it happens. Quietly, no scene, no announcement, just an exit through a side door, the kind reserved for people who were never meant to enter in the first place.
Did Meghan Markle get kicked off the red carpet at the Children's Hospital LA Gala? Let's put it this way. I've got a clip for you guys, and it doesn't look pretty.
And suddenly, the question starts stacking. Why was Meghan Markle there? Who let Meghan Markle in? And why, if nothing was wrong, is there no clear photo, no proof, no solid trace of Meghan Markle comfortably sitting among the guests? Just whispers, just contradictions, just silence where evidence should be. And then the UK, the return that wasn't a return. Meghan Markle flies in with Prince Harry, with expectations, with headlines already written in anticipation of reconciliation. King Charles waiting, a moment the world watches without seeing, but it lasts 47 minutes. 47. Not an afternoon, not a conversation, a timestamp. And then it's over.
Meghan Markle felt humiliated on Prince Harry's most recent UK trip, and that the trip turned into a nightmare, forcing Markle and her children to return home to California earlier than they had hoped.
Meghan Markle leaves the same way Meghan Markle arrived, quickly, quietly, back to the airport, back across the ocean. And the narrative cracks, because how does something so historic collapse so fast? What was said in those 47 minutes that closed the door instead of opening one? Rewind again. Prince Charles's 70th birthday, a garden party, controlled elegance, royal smiles. But inside that polished image, something fractures. Meghan Markle doesn't fit the mood, not subtly, not quietly, noticeably, and then comes the whisper overheard, passed, delivered, Meghan Markle wants to leave. And Prince Charles? He doesn't negotiate, he doesn't persuade, he doesn't adjust the evening. Prince Charles acts. A quiet message to Prince Harry, a car waiting outside. And just like that, Meghan Markle is gone. No confrontation, no drama, just disappearance. And isn't that more revealing than any argument? Then Montecito. Wealth, privacy, exclusivity, the kind of place where silence is bought, not earned. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry try to enter that world fully. Private clubs, closed circles, controlled environments. But doors don't open easily there, and when they do, they don't always stay open. Because according to claims, Meghan Markle brings attention. Cameras follow. Privacy breaks. And in places where invisibility is the currency, that becomes a problem no one wants to solve. So memberships disappear. Access fades. And suddenly, Meghan Markle is outside again, looking in. Then Invictus, a stage meant for veterans, a purpose rooted in sacrifice. But the focus shifts, slowly, then completely. Reports of demands, adjustments, changes, costs rising, attention drifting. And officials, they reach a limit.
Well, the one place that they were hanging out in LA, they actually, like I heard from people in LA, that they actually got barred.
What happened?
Well, the private members club where they organised to have paparazzi outside in West Hollywood, they're not allowed to go back.
Really?
Well,
Sorry, a private members club banned Harry and Meghan because they secretly asked for paparazzi?
Yeah.
The narrative turns, because when an event built for others becomes centered on one person, the balance collapses. And when that balance collapses publicly, someone has to step in.
Meghan Markle has been forced to leave the Invictus Games, axed by Prince Harry after another PR disaster. The reasons behind this are extraordinary.
There is a lot behind the scenes that you don't see and hear about. And that is what I heard about her being told to leave. There were issues with the sponsors and that they did not want her there. There was a big blow up around it. And eventually she just ended up leaving. And I think because it was so abrupt, it wasn't planned.
And then New York. Chaos, headlines, a chase that shouldn't have happened but did. And behind it, a decision. A hotel, a request denied, a room not given, and suddenly Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are moving through the city instead of disappearing into it. Exposure instead of protection, risk instead of control, and the consequences spiral fast. Before all of this, before titles, before headlines, there was Deal or No Deal, a smaller stage, a simpler role. But even there, something didn't align. Reports, tension, an exit that wasn't explained at the time but feels louder now, because patterns don't start at the top. They build quietly, piece by piece, moment by moment, until suddenly they're impossible to ignore. And then Buckingham Palace, a private room, a clear instruction, wait outside. Simple, direct, but Meghan Markle and Prince Harry don't wait. They hover, they move closer, and then it happens again, correction, not optional, not negotiable. They are told no, and when they don't move, they are moved, escorted, removed, and isn't that the word that keeps echoing? Not once, not twice, but again and again, across countries, across events, across years. Meghan Markle stepping forward, and someone somewhere stepping in. And then comes Wimbledon, where rules are not suggestions but traditions carved into expectation, and Meghan Markle walks in wearing both jeans and a hat, two things the royal box does not allow. Not sometimes, not occasionally, but never. And just like that, entry is denied, not debated, not softened. Denied. What makes it sharper is the memory of a different day, a different moment, when Catherine was present and Meghan Markle was allowed in, but only after removing the hat, only by adjusting to the rule. This time, Catherine is not there, and suddenly the flexibility disappears. The same space, the same rules, but a completely different outcome. And that contrast doesn't whisper, it shouts. Then New York again, but not the chaos this time, a restaurant. Quiet, exclusive, Michelin starred. The kind of place where status doesn't skip the line, it waits like everyone else. Meghan Markle arrives with a handler who makes the request not a table, but a private table, justified by a title that hasn't even fully landed yet. The response? No. Not rude, not dramatic, just no. And when the insistence continues, when the word Duchess is used like a key that should unlock doors, it doesn't work. Because in that room, power looks different. Meghan Markle stands there, silent, while the moment stretches, awkward and exposed, until the reality becomes unavoidable. This is not a room that bends. And then a story that lingers in the shadows, unverified but persistent, circling back from Northwestern University, where Meghan Markle is said to have crossed a line that couldn't be smoothed over, a prank that went too far, consequences that escalated quickly, and a removal that was immediate. It's not confirmed, not officially recorded, but it exists in that strange space where rumors survive because they feel like they belong to a larger pattern. And whether true or not, it adds another layer to a narrative already crowded with exits and exclusions. Then the Met Gala, the event that defines access, influence, and approval all in one night, and when the invitations go out, Meghan Markle is not on the list. Not overlooked accidentally, not quietly added later, just not included. And the absence becomes louder than any appearance ever could, because the connections were there, the opportunity was there, but the invitation wasn't. And in a world where every seat is curated, that absence says more than any statement ever would. It draws a line that no explanation can soften. Then a public event, a crowded room, and Meghan Markle spots Alexis Ohanian and moves toward him, not waiting, not hesitating, stepping directly into the audience space, blocking views, interrupting flow, and suddenly the room reacts. Voices rise, not one, not too many, telling Meghan Markle to move. Even the presenter joins in, and the moment flips instantly from intention to rejection. Meghan Markle grabs Prince Harry and they leave, not escorted this time, not formally removed, but pushed out by something even more powerful, the crowd itself, deciding that enough is enough. And then the biggest shift of all, the departure from royal duties, framed as freedom, as independence, as a new beginning. But with it comes something else, something less visible at first loss. Loss of structure, loss of protection, loss of access. And it becomes becomes real when King Charles makes the decision that cannot be undone. Frogmore Cottage is no longer theirs. The instruction is clear. Vacate, no negotiation, no extension. Meghan Markle is no longer inside that world, not even physically. Then Queen Elizabeth's funeral, where every movement is measured, every position deliberate, and Meghan Markle is placed not among the core, not beside the central figures, but further back, behind candles, behind distance, behind a message that doesn't need to be spoken to be understood. Because in that setting, placement is language, and that language is clear. And even after that, another exclusion, a state reception. World leaders gathered, King Charles hosting, and Meghan Markle is not included. Not because of timing, not because of oversight, but because of definition working royals only. And that phrase appears again like a final lock on a door that used to be open. 17 moments, 17 exits, 17 instances where Meghan Markle steps into a space, and the space in one way or another pushes back. Sometimes quietly, sometimes publicly, sometimes with a redirect, sometimes with a removal, sometimes with a silence that says everything.